Hi guys, you're welcome back to our 30-day guide of achieving your sales target. Today we are on day 7, so let's get into it quickly. So we are going to our quick recap. So what have we been saying? Day 1, we celebrate. Day 2, get your fresh target. Day 3, sell targets to your team customers. Day 4, work with your team and customers doing a show tell on how to achieve the target. Day 5, review your numbers and clear possible blocks. Day 6, we work with our big fish. So now we're into day 7. Day 7 is a very important day. It's a day where we're now into the real business of selling. All we've done from day 1 to 6 is laying a very strong foundation. So day 7 is where the action really begins and where you stop thinking like a salesman and start thinking like a scientist or an artist who wants to perfect their art or their trends. So we're going to into day 7 now. Now we're going to take it a bit slow. I know 90% of us listening to this have a car, but I know 100% of us have seen a car. In our cars, no matter how crude they are, they have dashboards where we have our speedometer, we have our fuel gauge, we have seat belts coming on and off, we have something on the dashboard that tells us the doors are closed or doors are not closed, and it gives the driver a great insight on what's happening in the car on that dashboard. However, if we have a flat car, then the car has a flat tire, maybe when the car is stationary, it's not moving, the driver can see, everybody can see that, no, this car has a flat tire. So sales is likened to this. We have our interior and we have our exterior. We have signs telling us that, look, things are not right or things are going very smoothly. So with that mindset, I want to just remind us all that numbers are of great importance. I said in an earlier slide, in an earlier series, that you cannot drive a car without being able to see where you're going to. I know technology may have advanced, and in the virtual world maybe you can drive, but as at today in Nigeria, we cannot drive a car if our eyes are closed. So numbers is of great importance because you need to know what you're really doing. How is it playing out? Are you on track? Are you on board? Is sales moving? Is the revenues comfortable? Are your volumes up? Are you losing market share? You cannot know all this if you don't have numbers. If you cannot read your numbers, if you cannot analyze your numbers, if you cannot be able to say, okay, this is the story my numbers are telling me, and this is likened to a car dashboard. You could drive the best car in the world, but if you do not understand the dashboard, the car would be telling you, look, I'm overheating, but you wouldn't even know because you can't read it. I also like to share with us this day that everything in life has a rhythm and a beat. Our heartbeats go beat, beat, beat at a tempo, and so does sales. We can check the rhythm and the beat. If you need to increase the rhythm so that the music will be more fast-paced, then there's a way we can quicken the beats. If we need to slow down the rhythm and the beat, we can also do that. So in that mindset, I would like us to all understand. I want us to visualize sales and see sales in a different form mentality. It's not about you just walking the streets of Lagos or Abuja and saying, I am selling. You must have a purpose, you must have a focus, you should know where you're going to, or your car will crash. Thank you guys. The first thing I do is I review my critical numbers. Now, a critical number to me is that point that I know that that is the lowest of the low that I can go. It shouldn't go beyond this particular point. Because I have access to my data and understand my data, I can be able to say, okay, this is I mustn't do less than this. So for simpler explanation, I have tried to summarize this into what we call our run rate. For those of us who love watching football or who are into sports, then you can see that there's a lot of statistics about the players, statistics about the club, statistics about the goalkeeper. With numbers, you'll be able to predict what is likely to happen if things continue going the way they're going. And we call this run rate. So I would say run rate is equal to my current daily average. And in my current daily average is calculated by saying the total sales I've done from the 1st to the 6th divided by the total number of days I have done in that month. So let's say my target is 1,000 trucks a month. Achieved as at the 6th day is 126 trucks only. So at the rate I'm running means I'm averaging 21 trucks a day. But my 1,000 trucks a day means my daily target is going to be 33.3 trucks a day. Means all is not well because it is lower than the expected run rate. Now this is a common scenario to most sales situations because a lot of us, our targets have been padded. You know what we mean by padding? They have added it. Most management target is much less than what our managers have given us, so that happens. But however, let's ignore all that and let's assume it's the real target. So it means my run rate is 21 trucks, but I have to do 33 trucks a day. So what do I do? How do I correct this? That means if I continue going at that rate, I'm not going to meet my target for the month. Let's forget about all the issues that come up for not meeting target, like lack of bonus, lots of screaming and intimidation from supervisors. But let's just assume 21 trucks a day is what I'm running at. How do I correct this? The first thing I do is I reassess my strategy. One thing about life is sometimes we just have to accept we are wrong. Things might not be working out because the strategy is wrong. Yet it's your strategy. You sold the strategy to the team and your customers. Okay, let's even assume that it was head office that gave you the strategy, so you're just doing what they say you should do. You have to reassess it. So you have to ask yourself what is not working. What do I change here? But unless you reassess, even if people advise you on what to do, you wouldn't listen. You assume you're always correct, you know it all, you know what you're doing. Maybe I've been 30 years on the job, so who the heck are you to tell me my strategy is not correct? But the truth of the issue is, with a simple reassessment, a lot of these problems can be solved. The next step I would recommend is discuss with team members, customers, ask for feedback, what can be changed. That ties into number one. Most of us believe that we know it all and that's why we are the leader. But it's wrong. Discuss with the team. Ask the team, guys, things are not going well. What can we do? What you'll be so surprised that the answer lies within your team or the answer lies with your customer. Ask for feedback. Ask for what can be changed. And if they just say that we don't know, that it's just the market that is low and that is dim, then I would recommend that you improve on your efforts to sell more. But let's go back again, as I said. You know, I said earlier on that 90 days kills a territory and 90 days build your territory. Maybe your 90 days of killing your territory is just creeping up on you. That one is another season on its own. But however, we're still finding a way now to sharply arrange our target so that we can meet the numbers. So this is just a quick fix, not a permanent fix. So as for what can be changed, if something you can do, all right, but at least note it, at least have a clear picture of what's going on. You clear all blocks. Sometimes, in Nigeria, our efficiency level is not as high as our counterparts around the world. Where some economies will want 99.99999% accuracy. In some economies, like our own, I'm sorry I'm saying this, guys, even if we do 60, we are happy. If we do 70, we are happy. And a lot of things don't work. So sometimes it could be the truck drivers, the truck is bad, and all we need to fix it is a new battery for the truck so that deliveries can go on smoothly. It could be that um, expenses have not been paid, so we don't have enough money to work on the field. So find a way to clear all these blocks so that the team can move. And it's just for you to increase your run rate. Then then you go back again to what can you do differently. Ask yourself, ask others. Most of the time, to be sincere, we always have the answer to our problems, but we're just too lazy to admit to ourselves what is really going on. Run rate is a direct proportion to what you give into your territory. Clear the blocks and clear your blocks, do things a bit differently, reassess your strategy, come back to the beginning of the whole thing. Maybe your team is not aligned to the strategy. You really need to sort this out because the run rate is telling you, guy, 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 yawa go gas. So with all this, you'll be able to move on. Okay, it's simple. If you don't make the numbers, you're not meeting your target. And the most important thing is ask, ask, ask. Ask why, ask why, ask why. Stop assuming you know. In sales, we always have a defined location. It could be a local government, it could be a street, it could be a state, it could be an area, region, country, continent, but it is normally defined that okay, this is where we expect you to do this, and we expect so volumes from this location from you. And most of the time, a lot of us just go around carrying a bag or driving our cars and saying they say we should go and sell. But there is a more scientific and more easier way to be able to sell more in your territory. Because let's not forget, your run rate is below average. You're meant to do 33 trucks a day. You're running at 21 trucks a day. So now what we're trying to do is fixing this 21 to go to 33. We have understood that we've asked your questions, you got a few good answers, you got some answers that didn't make sense, you have assessed your strategy, you believe your strategy is okay, or you have corrected where you think it's not working in the strategy. But there's some telltale signs in your territory that will make you know if what you're doing is on track or you're totally off track. So that what comes to what we call numeric and weighted distribution, but we'll start with numeric distribution. Numeric distribution is based on the number of outlets that carry a product. That is, outlets that list at least one of the product stock keeping unit or SKUs. It is defined as a percentage of stocks that stock a given brand or SKU within the universe of stores in the relevant market. So, meaning in simple English, the job of the issue, okay, let's give a scenario. Let's talk of popular brands in Nigeria. A popular brand is Indomie. Indomie noodles has done a very fantastic job. But if you take a drive down from your house to your nearest bus stop and just start counting the number of shops that stock Indomie, Now, that is you're counting the numeric distribution. So let's assume Indomie carries 80% and all the others carry 20%. So we're not saying that Indomie has an 80% numeric distribution that in that territory. Now, the beautiful thing about numeric distribution is people stock what is moving. So if your brand is not doing well, people will not stock it. So if you realize that you're not visible in the market, it simply means that that is why you're not selling. Because people buy perception, they buy what they see. So you have to increase on your numeric distribution, which automatically turns. Because let's give an example. Before now, maybe only 5 shops out of 100 shops stock your brand. But if you can increase this to even 20 or 30, you realize that because of the numeric distribution, you're actually selling more. As in, more people will buy. Because more people will see it, there are more outlets to sell it out. So this actually helps in increasing your run rate. So though it's hard work, but it's worth your while. Remember, you're trying to sharp, so you want to know how to get it right. So that's why we're trying to share this. You need to get your product into as many stores as possible in your locality to help increase your sales. I got this information from Wikipedia and it's online. So knowledge is free and it's everywhere. Environment is very important. It's a skill set I would advise every sales professional to have because you just driving around town. It's not just driving. You should be able to observe what the market is saying, what the market is telling you, what is competition doing, how do you improve on what you are doing, what new ideas do you have and you're ready to share. So now saying that, we'll go to the other aspect of distribution, which is called weighted. Weighted distribution is also part of reading your environment. Yeah, I put map reading there because I enjoyed geography as a kid. Now, weighted distribution is an additional measure of product presence in stores that gives an opportunity to understand the quality of distribution or distribution efficiency. What we're trying to say is your product in the right outlet? Because if you see the number ShopRite turns out a day, and maybe your product is a ShopRite and ShopRite is giving you 100 cartons a day, and however it's all over and it's not outside, you can say at least I'm selling. Yes, but at the same time too, it's a balance of the two that actually make you have a very healthy environment. You need both numeric and weighted, not that your product is just in one place and because it's selling, it's not in any other place. So, but what we need to really emphasize on is you need quick shelf uptake, we need visibility. We're going to have another course on consumer and customer drivers where I'll be able to explain better on how you can manipulate the system for quick sales. But with this foundation that you have, I can guarantee you, if you understand your numeric, your weighted, and your run rate, you understand you understand the signs of your land. For a quick improvement in sales, you need to align your critical elements. And critical elements in sales is your numeric distribution, your weighted distribution, and your run rate. If you can improve on any of these three, you have better sales. Now, numeric distribution, if you're not selling, just look for more spread. If 5 people are selling your products before, increase it to 10. If 5 people even taking more stock, has actually increased your sales because that has increased your run rate. If you need to have better stores who sell better numbers, then at the end of the day, you try, make a possible conscientious effort to improve the run rate to have a corrected output. So you see, day 7 is very critical. Day 7 is very important. Day 7 is where you know you have your dashboard to see what's really going on, and it gives you time because you need this to be able to take it up a notch in the next lap. So this is just a summary of how you can quickly improve sales in your territory. So that's the end of day 7. I've put a lot of work on your plate for day 7. It's going to get a top much more interesting as we go along the line. You can visit me online, Oyindamogod I am, on my website, saleswithafrica.com, crazysalestips.com. You can follow my YouTube channel, my LinkedIn page, and my Facebook page. Thank you very much, guys, and see you to the next series.